And Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial here in North Carolina is here answering your finance related questions. This person says, are there any free financial literacy courses that you would recommend?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I do is I actually teach at local universities on financial topics. As a National Social Security advisor, that is one of the topics in which I speak to. I think it's very important to try to educate yourself. There's way too many people, especially near and in retirement, that are making really big decisions without enough information. And unfortunately, a lot of these financial decisions that we make, there's no room for do-over. So long term, they could have a costly effect if you get the answers to those questions wrong. So yes, there are, and I would encourage you to look into some of the local universities. I myself have a list of the different places that I'm at on my website at scottbraddockfinancial.com.
Okay, gotcha. And we will put that in our web story that we post later on today. This next question says, Duke Energy has raised their prices. How can you budget when you're suddenly hit with an enormous payment you weren't expecting?
So this is a perfect example of why we have an emergency fund. It's just for the unexpected. Not every month is necessarily going to be as high when we receive those Duke Energy bills, but there could be a month which is just astronomically larger than other months. You know, I have a full family in the house, and sometimes those bills are just, you know, much more than I had anticipated. So that's exactly where having an emergency fund set aside for the unexpected is going to help you to take care of that and move forward without being hurt.
And I know so often people go, well, I don't have $3,000 to put into an emergency fund. But I know I've heard you speak on it before that, okay, but if you have $10 this month, you put it in that emergency fund. You just build it.
Right. You need to start somewhere. So if we need to start small, $10, $20 a month is a perfect way to get started. And here's a little tip. If you have a way to have money taken out of your paycheck and automatically go to some type of savings account, it's really hard to spend money that you never see. So that is a great way to get started. Start small and then build up on that as time goes on.
Okay. This person says, is it wise to invest in gold, either physical gold or gold funds?
You know, the answer to that is it's going to be, it depends. You know, it really matters a lot as far as where your overall portfolio is. But most importantly, what are your goals and objectives? There are some positives and negatives with any investment. I would say that there's not a perfect investment or a terrible investment out there. It's really a matter of picking the investment that's right for you. So what I would encourage folks to do, meet with a financial professional and sit down with them, let them evaluate your situation. It's very important to have, I believe, a personal relationship with a financial advisor. They're not going to bite you. They're really going to try to help you maximize all the different opportunities that you have in your unique financial situation.
Okay. I think people kind of get scared maybe about seeing any kind of financial advisor or whatever because they think, oh no, A, they're going to see what all the money that I have, I don't have, or how I spent it, good, bad, or otherwise. And
well,
then,
that's true. You know,
go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. When folks don't feel that they've done a good job, a good enough job, they think they're behind, or maybe, Tanya, it's just a matter of feeling they don't have the right questions to ask. Often that's going to lead to procrastination. You know, so it does take a little bit of courage to get that stuff together, find someone that you can sit down and talk to. But I tell people often when I'm teaching or I receive phone calls and folks are feeling as though they're behind and they're playing catch up. Tanya, it's never too late. It's never too late to get started. And the only way you're going to, you know, reach your long-term goals and objectives is to have some help, especially in this financial world that we have today. It's complicated.
And I think the other thing is they think to themselves, well, I'm afraid to ask how much it's going to cost. And, you know, that's weird when you sit across the table and do that, but that is part of business.
Well, it is, and there is a number of different advisors just like myself. I'm a fiduciary advisor, and I have 2 meetings where there's no cost or no obligation. Now, there's other advisors that charge you, you know, day one, but there are plenty like myself that will offer some type of no-cost opportunity just so that you can see if you're a good fit and see if there's a way that they can help ultimately.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with asking upfront how much does something cost. That is okay. That is what everybody does.
That's absolutely what you should do. Yes.